Yeah, 8 minutes after 9 o'clock. Last night, I was using science to be able to see what Joe and Dan were seeing in person because I was online watching the streaming video from WOCA as the camera was aimed at the doorway here at the Paddock Mall, and I saw a lot of people going in. I saw a lot of people coming out, and I couldn't tell on the camera, but it looked like some of them had some pretty large boxes. I think some of those boxes might have had TVs in them. So this is a perfect segue for our segment with Jim George. Jim George is here right now to answer your questions on this Black Friday. So if it's Black Friday where you are, then it's Black Friday where we are, and you're invited to call 622-9622 to speak to Jim. That is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. Jim is with American Cable Services and also happens to be sponsoring the free hot chocolate that Doug Smith is giving away right now outside the window, waving into the window, wearing a Toronto Maple Leaf shirt, and giving away free hot chocolate or hot cocoa, whatever you want to call it. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
How you doing? Did
Fine,
you stay up late last night?
I did not.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did. I eat too much, though, of course.
Are you a TV watcher on Thanksgiving?
I watched a little bit of it. I just tried to do some paperwork in the morning.
Paperwork? You were working on Thanksgiving?
Get caught up a little bit before I eat.
So did you watch the parade? Did you watch a football game? Was there anything?
No, I'm not sports minded. I don't watch any kind of sports there is. And news, like I said, I just did some paperwork, then went out to lunch.
So all these electronics you help other people with, you really don't use them yourself?
A cobbler's kids need shoes. The painter's house needs painting. The TV guy, I'm buying my large screen today.
Oh, you are?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be meeting my wife here about just after I'm done off the air, and we're going to go to Sears and buy a 55-inch. That's big enough for us, 55.
So what are the features that we should be looking for on a TV?
I'm going to buy a smart TV.
No, don't go any further. Tell me what that means. What does this mean, smart TV?
It has a built-in tuner, and by tuner, not necessarily just off-the-air tuner, but a digital tuner. Okay. So it will not only do D to A, digital to analog, but it will have multiple inputs, like an HDMI input, an RGB, a red, blue, and green input. So it has multiple inputs, maybe 5 or 6. So you could have a DVR feeding, a DVD device feeding it. You could have your cell phone feeding it. You could have multiple things feeding it, and then you just change the inputs by your remote.
Really?
Right.
Now, what is... Well,
it usually has wireless attached.
Okay, so I want you to say more about that, but can I throw in a side question?
Sure.
What is Apple TV? What is that?
That's a competitor of ours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Google TV, Apple TV, Netflix are basically all the same. They're all trying to launch TV to your home through the internet, and offer any type of entertainment package that's available today.
Okay, but you still have to get it through your internet provider, right?
You have to get it through your internet provider. Well, just in other words, if you have internet of any sort, whether it's Wi-Fi,
right.
Like I said, in our house, we're going to buy a smart TV, so we don't need to run an internet wire to our TV. It will talk to the internet wirelessly.
But doesn't American Cable Services provide internet?
We do provide internet, but in the area that I live in, I get my internet through Ocala Electric Utilities.
Oh, really? Okay.
They offer high-speed internet.
So if I had Apple TV or one of the other ones, I would still be using my local cable company for my internet. Right.
The idea is to commingle or coexist. I guess you know the history when AM was out there and FM started to come up. AM complained that FM would kill them. Well, they coexisted. And then when theaters started to be built, both AM and FM complained, and they coexist. So when TV started up, the FCC, actually, the AM/FM radios petitioned so much that the FCC halted TV production for 4 years while they looked into it because they were told that TV would kill AM/FM, and it doesn't. I mean... And like you always said in one of your commercials here, that if TV had been invented first and then radio, what an amazing invention to be able to carry it with you.
Yeah, right.
And now you watch TV on your cell phone. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could just literally walk around and watch TV on your cell phone. I don't know who would want to do that because you'd have to have very good eyes, but that's the nature of the beast now. Everything's going wireless. And remember when we said it 6 months ago that 3D was dead? Well, it's officially dead.
Really?
3D is no
So
longer.
where are the speakers on the flat screen TVs? You can tell by my question that I don't own one. How does that work?
Well, it depends on the manufacturer. Some are actually built into the screen.
Really?
Yeah, in other words, I could give you a speaker right now that you could put on this sheetrock wall, and the whole wall becomes a speaker.
Really?
It vibrates the whole wall in such a way that the woofer, the tweeter, all the things we know about, the whole sheetrock wall would become a speaker.
Wow, I wonder what that sounds like.
And you don't have to cut any holes in the wall.
And it sounds good?
Wow.
Sounds very good.
What is it? I mean, is it just
It's just the way it resonates the sheetrock and resonates the wall. Yeah, it's
Wow.
a different technology. Remember when Bose created their little system where you
Yeah.
buy this, and it sounds like it's an orchestra in the whole room? So,
Yeah, and they're so tiny too,
So
like 2 inch
tiny.
by 2 inch. Yeah.
So how much do they cost?
it depends on how the quality you want. In other words, by response, the lows and the highs. But it's probably about $200 or $300 for a speaker.
Really?
Wow, and that's pretty
But it
cheap.
turns your whole wall into a speaker. My wife has been wanting one for a long time, so I'm going to break down and get her one.
So and she must like it because she just likes the way it sounds.
Well, yeah, you don't know where it's coming from. In other words, the whole wall. So if you put one
Wow.
on one wall and one on the other wall, the whole room has sound, and
What
you
is-
have no idea where it's coming from.
What does it look like?
It's looks like a speaker, but the cone, instead of being a paper cone, because that's moving the air,
Right.
instead has these flat planes that you screw to the wall, and then it uses the sheetrock as the.
That's crazy.
Oh, I know.
So-
Unbelievable.
Wow.
So this is a revamping of surround sound as we know it right now, with the different speakers that we
Right.
put up in the corners and things.
Right. Yeah. Surround sound requires wiring. Of course, you can get a wireless surround sound. They just don't sound as good. But
Oh.
but they are good. Don't get me wrong. They just don't sound as good as wired. But this device is wired. You do run wires to it. But in this case, you could drill holes in your stud above your wall, bring the wires down
Wow.
behind it, mount the speaker, on the other side of the wall. In other words, mount it in the kids' room, let's say facing the bedroom, and then that whole wall now becomes a speaker.
So it won't vibrate on the other side of the wall in the other
One
room?
way only, yeah.
Wow.
So you have at times used the expression smell-o-vision, where we'll be able to smell things on TV.
No, I think you've used that expression. I don't think you're ever.
I have?
It used to be
Well,
on a theater you could do it.
with popcorn.
No, they actually had theaters experience where if it was a fire burning, you smelled smoke, and if it was a car, you would smell the exhaust.
Get out of that theater.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust that one. Okay, but there was something in the news the other day about these electronic lollipops. Have you heard about these things?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay. Now, here's why I'm asking this.
Electronic lollipop.
The electronic lollipops, you put like an electrode in your mouth, and the program that controls it can make you feel like you're tasting grape or
Oh,
whatever. Okay, chocolate, whatever flavor you're supposed to be tasting. It stimulates your taste buds electronically so that you think you're tasting, and it's a way to cut down on calories. You put this lollipop in your mouth, and it's not really a lollipop; it's really an electrode. Okay, so I was thinking about this for sales purposes. If you had a commercial. And you were trying to convince somebody to buy this particular food or this particular drink, go ahead and put your electrode in your mouth right now, and you'll taste what our new soda tastes like.
oh wow, yeah, that'd be fantastic.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it would go the way of 3D. I think it wouldn't last long. It'd be a novelty, and then it would go away.
Right. Well, we've been experimenting. We haven't even launched our box yet, and because we're still waiting for the dual core box to come out instead of a single core. In other words, more processing power, and we've already developed the application, the app, so you don't even need the box. Now, if you
Wow.
want to become a subscriber, you can go online. Let's say put your credit card in, download the app to, let's say, your smartphone or to your smart TV, and then the channels that we have, there they are. They're on your TV.
And will your app always be up? Is there any danger of it to not function one day?
No, because the app is actually loaded in the computer. Well, all the app does, it has a security code in it, and it talks to our server. As long as our server is up and running, then the TV will flow to your TV, to your TV. So
I'd rather get something from you than from Netflix or something like that, because you're always there. If something happens to the outside connections, I mean, we are one phone call away for fixing it.
Exactly.
All right, Jim, you have a phone call. Let's take that call. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim George.
Yes, good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
If you had a choice between cable and satellite, do you think one would give you a better reception than the other? Is one more better than the other one?
It depends on the actual cable company and the type of delivery, and it also depends on the satellite company. Not to get into too much detail, but if you needed internet, then it would be logical to go with the cable company, because they would give you the internet, and then the TV would be, like a byproduct of subscribing to the internet. If you had a phone service that was reasonably good, like CenturyLink, and they were giving you internet, and all you really needed was TV, then you might want to go with satellite. Picture quality-wise, DirecTV has a better picture quality. It's the way they process the signal than Dish. Both of them are extremely clear, but technically, DirecTV has the better picture quality.
It does, yeah.
If you went with a Cox or a Bright House or someone, it really depends. Are they using? There's all different techniques to deliver TV to you. There's QAM, which stands for quadrature, amplitude modulation, and there's all kinds of compression ratios. And so, really, not all digital TV delivered to your house is the same.
Yeah. Is it true that some cable companies or all of them actually use satellite to receive programming before they send it out through the cable?
Yes, all the satellite channels like USA, TNT, and Turner Class, they all come through the satellites. But Cox here locally gets all their Orlando channels and all their Gainesville channels by fiber. They've actually ran fiber down to Orlando, so that those channels are not over the air. They're coming straight to Cox via the fiber. But everything else, the Atlanta channels, whatever that channel's originated from, New York or California, is coming in by satellite.
Okay, now let's say, like what you're saying, let's say there's a thunderstorm or something in that area where that's coming from. How come you never, on a cable, you never see it, you lose the picture like you do with satellite?
Because it has, number one, a much larger dish, and it uses a different satellite, that C-band instead of KU band. KU band is the small dishes, high power satellites, but KU band, a raindrop looks like a truck being parked in front of the dish. Whereas at C-band, there is no rain fade with C-band.
Oh. Could a person like myself set up a bigger dish like that if I had the space to do it? People like us cannot subscribe, let's say, to C-band. C-band is there are some free-to-air channels on C-band, a couple of hundred, maybe even a couple of thousand channels on C-band, but it would require an actuator arm to move the dish from satellite to satellite to satellite. As you look through the arc. But you could get a larger KU band dish. The biggest DirecTV makes is a 6-footer, and a 6-footer is roughly about 10 times stronger than the one. The little 18-inch is like 10 times stronger. Oh my gosh, yeah. And is that available to people?
Yes, you could buy those at Dow Electronics in Tampa. You could buy them at Perfect 10 in Atlanta. Just go online and type in large DirecTV dish, or type in 6-foot DirecTV dish, and you'll come up with people who sell them.
Okay, and you're saying that your chances of losing the signal are is not going to happen because of the size and everything?
No, it would still happen. It just wouldn't happen as quickly. In other words, we use 3-foot dishes in Ocala Palms, and a homeowner uses an 18-inch. Yeah. And their signal would start going out as soon as the rain started. Ours requires a real thunderstorm before going out. When we launch, though, our new system, we're going to go to 10-foot KU band dishes. There again, that'd be almost 20 times stronger than an 18-inch dish.
Oh, very good.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
You're
Good
welcome.
to see an answer. Yeah, you bet. Bye now.
All right, thank you. And the phone line is open if you want to ask Jim a question about something you're thinking about buying for yourself or for somebody else as a gift, or perhaps which is better if you want to ask Jim his opinion on comparing brands or whatever. The phone number is the same. It's 622-WOCA, the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I bought my son a big home theater package.
Mm-hmm.
Are home theater packages a wise way of going about it, or is it better to get them in pieces, like instead of getting everything from one company or whatever?
No, getting them all from the same manufacturer, like a Samsung TV and a Samsung stereo and all that's a great idea. But component-wise, buying them individually is also a good idea, because then it allows you to, like, you don't know the quality of the TV sound, so you buy the TV and you test the quality of the sound. If it's sufficient, you may not need the speakers. Like my wife right now, when we buy our large screen today, she wants to buy the surround sound. I said, we don't even know how it sounds. Why don't we get it home first and see how it sounds?
Right.
Oh, wow.
And then if it sounds great, we're fine. And then she says, well, I want surround sound, because, she's getting a little hard of hearing, although she won't confess to it. And so what I'm saying to her is, why don't I get you a wireless headset? And you can put the wireless headset on, and the TV will broadcast to you, and then you can hear everything you want to hear.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a good idea.
And they're very inexpensive.
There was an issue my mom had with her TV, and it was an old TV, so maybe this has been fixed. But here was the issue. Whenever her electricity would go out, I would have to go back. She would always say, Larry, I can't get higher than channel 13. I don't know what happened. And I'd go back over. I'd do the automatic thing where it figures out all the channels, and then, boom, she's back in business. But every single time, if the electricity went out, it would go back to those 13 channels, and it'd have to be reprogrammed.
Right.
Has that problem been fixed or addressed in any way?
No, not really. Even the new sets, we had people in Ocala, Palm Springs have large screen, flat screens, and they'll have it in the bedroom. Or let's say the living room, and then they might want to buy a bigger one for the living room, so they'll move their TV to the bedroom. They have unplugged it. It may have taken them a half a day to set it up and plug it back in, and they call us and say, I'm only getting 13 channels. And I say, yeah, I'll come out, and I've got to show them how to auto-program. Now, that's still there.
That's still a problem. See, I've often thought there's got to be a way to maybe put a battery in there or something to...
Well, there are some sets, will have that, in them, and some won't.
Now, when you buy this large 55-inch TV, is the person that's watching it, do you have to sit directly in the middle, or can you see it from each end without the picture being distorted?
Yeah, the TVs today, especially the LEDs, light-emitting diode TVs, you can get to the side very much. I mean, you can almost get like 20-degree angle. Instead of being 180, just move 20 and still see perfectly clear.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The state of the art has changed so much. It's all to do with the number of pixels that are present, and whether it's interlaced or progressive. Progressive is your better one. The picture is progressively increased as compared to interlace, which is one line and then another line interlaced next to it, then another line interlaced. So you want to get a 1080p for progressive on a smart TV.
Okay.
And you want to get at least a 120 hertz refresh cycle. And what that basically means is you can buy a good large screen, and it might say 60 hertz, and that's how long it takes to refresh the screen. So if there was a sport event with a lot of running around, a lot of football playing, let's say, you might look a little blurry or a little funny because it can't refresh the screen every second. But if it's 120, then it refreshes twice as fast. And the one my wife is looking at says 240 refresh rate. So that's going to be a fast. So the picture is going to be crystal clear.
So I have a question for you that's really more of a Clark Howard question. And I think I know his answer. His answer is don't ever. The question is, should you or should we buy the extended warranty? And I've often thought, why does Clark say don't buy them? I mean, you're spending $600 on a TV.
Yeah.
What difference does it make if you add another 40 so that you get you're protected for 4 years?
Exactly. He thinks you're throwing the money. I'm a Sears guy. My wife found the set like $25 or $35 cheaper another place, and I said to her, just go to Sears, buy it. And then she said, well, the warranty, it's like a $890 set. By the time you add tax, let's say it's a $950. And she says the warranty is $124. I said, is it a 5-year? She said, yeah, 5-year unconditional. For $124, divide that by 5. What is that, $20 a year?
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on, but why put the onus on us to get it repaired?
Right.
Something goes wrong, just
Right.
call Sears and say, hey, get this thing out of here and give me another one.
So you disagree with Clark
I do.
Howard, who always says, "Don't buy the." I often think, why? I mean, I can understand if I'm buying a pen or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
something crazy or something that's easily replaceable, but something like a big price item, I don't know.
Yeah, I just bought a flashlight. It's a little bit upscale flashlight from Sears, and I think it cost me $11.24. And the lady said, "You want the warranty on that? It's a 3-year unconditional for $5." And I said, "No, that's like a third of the cost.
Yeah, right, right.
I'll just wait.
Right, right.
Plus, it doesn't cover the bulb." and I've had,
No.
and the bulb is $3. So what else is there? There's
No.
and the battery doesn't come with, so it doesn't cover the battery. It doesn't cover the bulb. So what am I covering? The on-off switch?
right. Exactly. Yeah. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim.
Good morning, Jim. I have to agree with you. I've gotten a lot of my big-ticket items through Sears, and I've always got the warranty. And not only will they replace it, but if you can upgrade it by adding the difference of the allowance, the difference of the cost of the allowance. I had a TV go out, and I wound up upgrading it to a little larger screen, plus a much newer TV with a better resolution and speed, and everything for an additional $100. Now, I mean, how can you go wrong? You're keeping up with technology, and the warranty, for $100 more, you're basically more than replacing the set that you went defunct. And that also works on some of the other appliances that I bought through Sears that with the extended warranty. And I was very happy with that. But anyway, that's the way I look at it also. And I think I know I'm coming out ahead of the deal. So anyway, I agree with you, and thank you for your programming, and your information is very informative, and thanks again.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, it's the same with other appliances. We bought a lawnmower, and it was trouble from day one.
Oh, no.
And I think we had a carburetor replaced, so it was a good 6 months into it. I think we paid like $6.99 for it. And we went back, and they had, and they didn't make that model anymore. I guess they decided that was a troubled model.
Uh-huh.
And they upgraded us to a $1,499 model.
Wow.
No extra charge.
Wow.
Just because they wanted to keep us as a customer.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
They've always had a pretty
But
good
we had the
reputation.
warranty. What I'm saying, we had the 5-year warranty. They
right.
weren't about to fix that thing for 5 years. They said, no, let us get you out of this and let us get you into something else.
So better. Yeah, that's good. Wow, that's good customer service right there.
Yeah.
Arthur, how do we get a hold of you to talk about our cable services at American Cable Services?
Yes, in Ocala, it's 854-9795.
And if you come by the Paddock Mall today, between now and noon, Robin?
Yes.
Doug is out there. Doug Smith is out there. He is giving away hot chocolate that Jim George paid for.
Yes, he is.
So thank Jim George, thank American Cable Services, and thank Doug if you're out there. He's giving away the hot chocolate, and he has no problem flirting with the pretty ladies. Look at that.
No, he
Look,
doesn't.
he has no problem at all flirting with the pretty ladies. All right, we'll take a little break. Thank you, Jim. We'll
Thank
be
you.
right back.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. It'll be nice today.